The Buchanan High School tennis court saw zeros Friday, despite a big tournament. Air quality concerns put it on hold for hours, but the girls from Turlock found a different way to use the courts.
Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay. Now watch me whip. Watch me nay.
Their dance is new school, but it's their old school use of bandana masks that's helping them win at least one match against the rough fire. It's now casting a growing shadow, and not just on the tennis court. Here at the ABC 30 studios in downtown Fresno, we're about 45 miles from the edges of the rough fire, and yet we can still smell smoke in the air, and our news vehicles here are just coated in ash.
It feels like it's like winter with this darkness, but it's the middle of the day, and we don't have a sun.
On social media, ABC 30 insiders like Richard Holguin shared photos of ash in Selma, in northwest Fresno, even in Hanford and Carruthers. Kaiser Permanente Dr. Linda Paul says it's a symptom of the unhealthy air delivered from the rough fire, and it's keeping her busy.
Sinus congestion, sinus infections, bronchitis, and certainly asthma and emphysema exacerbations have been a lot worse lately. We've been seeing a lot of patients in clinic.
Children and senior citizens are usually the most vulnerable to respiratory trouble, and long exposure can lead to chronic problems and even infections like pneumonia. Some folks are adjusting their schedules to survive.
Try to do as much as we can in the morning because we know during the day it gets worse. And we figure in the morning it's not as thick because it's cooler.
But even a cool dance couldn't save the tennis tournament. The Turlock girls, the Lodi team, and everyone else will have to sit and wait to play another day when the rough fire's reach isn't quite so long. Corin Hoggard, ABC 30, Action News. For now, American and Allegiant are side by side here at the departures area of the Fresno airport, but pretty soon they'll be head to head, and Fresno's aviation director says that is a good sign.
The new courthouse is on the other side now.
The old building was once a schoolhouse before it was condemned and converted to a courthouse. The place was built like a confusing maze. Its temperature was often uncomfortably hot or cold, and its design provided almost no comfort, even in the room reserved for jurors about to dole out justice.
The last building was in a trailer, believe it or not, and our seating was all lawn chairs.
These chairs are a lot more comfortable. There is artwork on the walls from Madera County. There is a restroom attached to the jury room here, and the air conditioning actually works. The controversial county clerk in Kentucky, Kim Davis, is out of jail this morning, but not yet back at work. Davis was thrown in jail for refusing to marry same-sex couples last week. She was released yesterday. As part of her release from jail, a judge ordered her not to interfere with her deputy clerks when they issue marriage licenses to eligible couples. She now says she will return to work on Monday, but hasn't said whether she'll obey the order. One deputy clerk made it clear, saying Davis may be the boss, but other employees will obey the judge's ruling. Construction is underway this morning on a new sports complex in the North Valley. It's located in a 12,000 square foot building near Main and U Street in Merced. Founder Devon Hilliard says the center is being funded through donations, and it'll be run by his nonprofit known as SWAG, which stands for Students with Aspiring Goals. It's a place where kids can take part in training for a variety of sports, and there's also tutoring and mentoring.
The goal for this facility is to get some kids in the general area to reach out and get to college, through academics and athletics.
Action News time is 6:10. We've been following a hot forecast, a dirty air forecast. We're looking for the positive. Shelby, can you tell us anything good? Action News time is just about 6:18. Tonight, the Fresno Grizzlies hit the field for the second playoff game in 17 years, and the Bats are expected to be hot once again. Last night's bottom of the fourth right here went very well. That's Tony Kemp coming through with a double to left center, scoring 2 runs right there. Kemp ended up scoring himself when the next batter, Alex Presley, smoked that one just over the shortstop's head into left. The Grizzlies won 9-1 on the strength of the offense and a solid start from ace Stan Straley. Game 2 in the best-of-5 series is at 7:05 tonight. The Grizzlies hoping to beat last night in attendance when 7,800 fans showed up. Tonight, there's going to be a rib throwdown as well as deals on beer. So get out there for Thirsty Thursday and support the Grizzlies as they move towards hopefully a second playoff round. New mandatory evacuations are in place for the rough fire this morning. In 30 minutes, Fresno County Sheriff's deputies will go door to door to distribute mandatory evacuation notices to certain residents in Dunlap. We have live team coverage of the rough fire and the air quality. Jessica Paris is live in Dunlap with the mandatory evacuations taking effect. CHP Officer Justin Montooth is tracking road closures in the area. We start with Ruben Contreras, who's monitoring the air quality affected by this fire. And our team coverage continues with Action News reporter Jessica Paris. She's live in Dunlap, where mandatory evacuations are about to take effect. Jessica, happening now, national security officials are urging agents across the country to be vigilant today, the anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Officials say the arrest this week of a Florida man who was plotting to attack a 9/11 memorial event is a reminder of the continued threat 14 years later. ABC's Bazi Kanani is in Washington with more. Later this morning, we'll bring you a special ABC News report live from New York marking the 14th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. Action News time is 5:37. Still ahead, a journalist caught on camera tripping a refugee fleeing from police. How she's now defending the actions that sparked international outrage. And lottery winners in Illinois are anything but. What's stopping them from receiving their winnings? Forced out, the rough fire's reach spreads further, and hundreds have to leave their homes behind. Plus, rangers have a couple clues in the search for a missing hiker in Yosemite National Park. And one killed in a crash late last night. Police say a driver made two deadly decisions. Action News AM Live Saturday starts now.
Number one in Central California. This is ABC 30 Action News, AM Live.
Good morning, Central Valley. You're taking a live look from our Fresno Pacific University North Fresno campus Skycam. Still dark out there on the northeast side of Fresno, right by River Park. Wow, it's going to be another hot day, but Ruben Contreras is tracking a forecast that looks a little bit cooler, at least at the end. I'm Corin Hoggard, and let's get right over to Ruben and check that out. New this morning, one man is dead and 5 others are recovering after a collision in Fresno County. CHP says a car speeding northbound on Minnewawa went through a stop sign and broadsided another car traveling west on Tulare. The impact threw one person out of the car and into a nearby tree. Officers say he died at the scene. Investigators believe the driver who ran the stop sign may have been drunk. They're still working to identify everybody involved in the wreck. Happening now, hundreds of Dunlap area residents will wake up in a strange location today after the rough fire forced evacuations. Sheriff's deputies went door to door to tell people yesterday they had to pack up and get out. Action News reporter Gene Hagenson shows us the desperate departures. The fire has also led to evacuations at the elementary school in Dunlap, and it could stay empty for quite a while. Thick smoke surrounds the school, and we found ash on school water fountains Friday. The Kings Canyon Unified School District is now busing most of the students to Jefferson Elementary in Reedley and Connor Elementary in Orange Cove. Also happening now, thousands of people near Sacramento are on alert for possible evacuations this morning after the Butte fire grew to nearly 65,000 acres. So far, the wildfire has destroyed 6 homes and thousands more could be in the line of fire. It's only 5% contained. At one point, the fire was bearing down on the 2,700 residents of San Andreas, prompting an evacuation order for the entire town. The fire changed direction and it was called off. Governor Brown issued an emergency proclamation for Amador and Calaveras counties because of the fire. Developing news out of Yosemite National Park, where Forest Service rangers are searching for a missing hiker. 36-year-old Timothy Nolan had a wilderness permit to backpack from Happy Isles to Tuolumne Meadows from September 1st to the 4th. His mother told rangers he actually planned on hiking a loop ending September 9th, but he hasn't returned. Merced County prosecutors filed special charges against 3 men arrested in the North Valley for a crime police say they recorded on video. The DA calls it murder with torture, and detectives believe it happened last Saturday night when the 4 men were drinking at a home near Atwater. They say one of the men stabbed the victim several times and told another guy to record it with a cell phone. The ex-girlfriend of one of the suspects came forward on Tuesday saying she'd seen the video. Detectives arrested the men quickly, and they say one of the suspects confessed and led them to the victim's burned body in an orchard near Snelling. The Fresno County coroner has identified a man found dead inside a burned mobile home. 36-year-old Tim Cox of Auberry was killed in the trailer near Auberry. CAL FIRE got called to the fire around 2 yesterday morning, and that home is around the Mary Lou Mobile Home Park. Once they put out the flames, Fresno County Sheriff's deputies came out and found Cox dead in a bedroom. CAL FIRE is now looking into the cause of the fire, but investigators say it appears to be an accident. In the state capitol, Governor Jerry Brown will get the final say on legislation to allow terminally ill patients to legally end their lives. State lawmakers passed a bill yesterday, and it's now headed to the governor's desk. The bill would allow doctors to prescribe life-ending medication, and it follows the highly publicized case of 29-year-old Brittany Maynard. A California woman suffered from brain cancer. She moved to Oregon for a physician-assisted suicide. It's not clear where Governor Brown stands on the issue, but he is Catholic, and the church is against right-to-die laws. The legislature also passed a series of bills to clear up medical marijuana laws and regulate the industry. Patients will still need a doctor's recommendation to use cannabis, but the state will eliminate collectives and cooperatives in favor of licensed, background-checked commercial growers, distributors, and sellers. Cities and counties can still ban medical cannabis activity, or they can license it and tax it. Growers and sellers are now allowed to take profits, and licensed medical users are not subject to arrest. Lawmakers are now asking the governor for a special session to tackle drought issues. In a letter delivered to the governor yesterday and provided to the Associated Press, the 47 members of the state assembly say a special session is needed to address the unprecedented water crisis. The letter says the state needs to speed up the spending of $687 million in funding lawmakers approved to help drought-stricken communities. Coming up, a life-saving surgery leaving no scars.
I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed.
A new tool lets doctors follow the same route as your food to save your stomach. Next on Action News AM Live, the rough fire on the move, and now some larger communities in East Fresno County are on notice. Be ready to leave home quickly. And an apology years in the making. ABC's David Muir got Hillary Clinton to change her tune about her email controversy. Action News AM Live starts now. Fresno police are trying to find the gunman who shot a man in the face and chest in central Fresno. The 30-year-old victim was hit last night at the Cambridge Court Apartments as he stood in a driveway. He was rushed to the hospital, but his condition has not yet been released. Police are still gathering evidence, but they do know the suspect or suspects were driving a white car. As you consider your voice and your vote this morning, Hillary Clinton is apologizing about her email controversy. In an exclusive interview with ABC News, the Democrat says for the first time she's sorry. Meanwhile, the Republican candidates are trying to reach voters through humor. ABC's Bazi Kanani has the latest on campaign 2016. Well, that tray table in front of you on airplanes, the one where they put your food, a new study shows it may be the dirtiest thing you touch when you travel. The website travelmath.com collected 26 samples from 5 airports on 2 different airlines, didn't name which ones. The tray table sample showed more than 2,100 colony-forming units per square inch. Second on the list of dirtiness was the drinking fountain button in an airport, followed by the plane's overhead vents.
The sign originally read, "Hi Harry, you're so nice," but the "your" didn't have an apostrophe and an E at the end.
Common mistake.
Yes. Well, the fan later tweeted out a picture of the sign thanking Harry for correcting her grammar and for his autograph. She was just happy that he noticed her sign.
He's got a real future as an English teacher.
When this whole boy band thing wears off, yeah.
All right, Action News time is 4:53. Up next, a supersized prehistoric monument.